You're listening to DraftKings Network.
This episode is brought to you by Experian. Are you paying for subscriptions you don't use, but can't find the time or energy to cancel them? Experian could cancel unwanted subscriptions for you, saving you an average of $270 per year and plenty of time. Download the Experian app. Results will vary. Not all subscriptions are eligible. Savings are not guaranteed. Paid membership with connected payment account required.
Yeah, in a fight, all the fights I'm in.
But you guys aren't professional fighters. That's the thing.
I'm 60-40 protecting myself.
I'm sure the guys that are in there are like, I'm going to 100% knock this guy's head off.
You guys have heard Mike Tyson say, right? Everyone's got a plan until they get punched in the nose.
Yeah.
Everybody thinks they're going to win the knockout bonus of the night right up until you're in a fight against somebody who's about as good as you are and you're afraid of it happening to you.
The bonus needs to be higher. $100,000 for those guys is not enough incentive.
It is.
No, Dan, it's not. $1 million, you will have guys like Floyd Mayweather, guys who don't go for knockouts, they will then go for knockouts.
Stupid.
If indeed that's what he's going for.
Knocked out left and right.
Okay.
Same guys.
So?
Over like Martin Lawrence in the fight against Tommy Hearns.
Yep. At least we get a knockout. I mean,
Stugotz, I believe, do you guys think I have this wrong? Because I know that Stugotz's chief incentive is always money on all things. But I think that the chief motivator for most human beings that is higher than even money is surviving. And when I put people who, even if they're trained, in a fight in front of others where they can not only get knocked out, but also embarrassed, and their career can get derailed by being on the wrong end of the knockout and everything they've worked for, there's not an amount of money that you can put in these circumstances that is going to actually get you more entertaining fights.
I think we all understand that, but there are more entertaining fighters, and they're guys with different styles, different disciplines that they're stronger at. And if you're a matchmaker, if your top guys are more suited for ground fights and more defensive style fights, it's your job as a matchmaker to put guys that lean on other disciplines that are a bit more aggressive and a little bit more exciting for the fans, especially when you consider it's happening at 4 a.m. local time. I don't care what time it is in Vegas. Like, it's 3 a.m. there. Yeah.
The welterweight championship that we just saw between Leon Edwards and between Bilal Muhammad was a war of attrition in the welterweight division because neither guy was supposed to get a title fight. They didn't want Leon. He had been unbeaten for 9 years. Think about that. He had not lost a fight in 9 years until he fought Kamaru Usman and beat him. They did not want to give him a title shot through those 9 years. Bilal Muhammad, the same thing, hasn't lost in 5 years. They did not want to give him a title shot whatsoever. But it finally got to a point that they continued to win in their styles until it was like, all right, we have nobody else. Colby's out. Kamaru Usman's out. Shavkat Rakhmonov, who's probably going to get the next title shot, is just a buzzsaw who's going to be incredible. We'll see him in a little bit. But these are the two guys, we need to make this fight because they just keep winning and they've given us no choice. Dana is not happy that Bilal Muhammad won this title. Like
the boring winners.
The
boring winners division.
He was training with Khabib. You knew how this fight was going to go. I'm going to get him on the ground. I'm going to try to put him in a rear naked choke for 4.5 minutes. With that, Dana's like, damn, now I have a champion who is going to try and wrestle everybody, and that's going to be boring because if he wins and he's successful at that, then I got another wrestling champion.
But he looked good on his feet against my boy.
He did. He outstruck him.
Right. He outstruck my boy. So,
dude, he totally closed off the octagon.
Exactly. So I think, like you said, put an exciting fighter against Bilal with wrestling skills. I think that fight will be more exciting.
I wouldn't mind seeing Edwards get another shot at it because it seemed as though, like in round 5, even though he was the much lesser fighter on the night, he kind of figured out what he had to do in round 5. And he's a guy that we've seen in the Usman fight in particular pull a win very late once he realizes, I finally figured this guy out. He just waited way too long.
Again, they got one of those two guys that they didn't want out now. They're not giving him an immediate rematch. I think Dana said as much. I think Shavkat Rakhmonov is the next guy up because he has that wrestling acumen and his ability on the ground, but he's also a buzzsaw on his feet. So I think that's the next fight to make in welterweight.
I mean, he was trying to offset the main event by putting heavyweight power on the card too, and it was a knockout, but it wasn't a sensational knockout. One knockout is all you need. One moment from each card is all you need to make all those negative feelings go away, and he just didn't get it this time.
Stugotz, I want to show you a couple of things here because I don't believe that we have had a music phenomenon that is quite like Taylor Swift is.
It makes you emotional.
In the modern age. I have something stuck in my throat.
I thought you were talking about Gojira.
Yeah. It is amazing what she's doing. I mean,
this is crazy. If you think you're popular, this is a good reality check for anyone out there with
You're
a following.
not, right?
If you think you're popular, you're not.
A German stadium, a stadium in Munich, is filled for her concert, and then far enough away to not be able to hear that concert very well or see anything at all, there's also a sea of people
on a hill, like just how many thousands of people do you think are in this hill? Like, this looks like 50,000 people outside of the stadium.
You're saying they
better idea if they shot it in landscape.
Right. That's a good point. But you're saying they just want to be close to the action. They can't hear. There's no speakers set up. There's nothing out there.
No, they can hear. They
can faintly hear it.
It's a concert, but you can't hear it. It's not. You can't hear it well, and you can't see much of anything. And this happens to her all over the world, where outside,
Look at that.
people can't get in, and they're just thrilled to be able to be outside. Now let's.
You know what I realized? Like, it is way too hot down here in Miami. We would never do that.
Now,
we could never. We'd melt. It must be so nice out there. They're enjoying them. They just want to be outside near the action because their balls aren't melting.
Right now, it's 80 degrees in Munich.
Look at all the fans that came to see Britney Spears.
Balmy, beautiful.
Come on, do the thing. The guy is the guy.
Not a lot of balls I saw there. I saw a lot of women there.
It's hot as balls for women too.
Is it? Put it on the
that
poll,
one
please,
transcends.
At
That's
Batard show. Put it. I don't understand
How
that
is that
expression. I've
possible?
never understood that expression.
You don't understand it?
I
Balls
do,
never get
but
hot?
I do,
mean,
but I don't.
I think I've heard Jess say I'm sweating my balls off. It's just a saying.
Put it on the poll at Batard
What would
show.
you say?
Is it hot as balls for women as well? Now let's juxtapose Taylor Swift against the SeaWorld concert series involving Soulja Boy. Who else is here at the SeaWorld?
Bow Wow, I believe. I believe this is Bow Wow and Soulja Boy performing where Shamu used to perform.
That was a question you were asking because you
it's-
don't know if Shamu is around anymore. This is less exciting. The SeaWorld Summer Concert Series feels like something not unlike what the Marlins.
This seems like a pretty good party. I know which one I'd rather be at.
Right?
This is great.
Sold.
Joe boy.
Hey, look at him. Yup.
God.